Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 3. I'm really excited to watch this episode, more than for the two first episodes. Maybe not more than for the pilot. You've got what I meant, more than I'm supposed to be, because of two things. First one, I told you guys since I think the first episode, in fact, that this show, it's a new show, so we have to consider it like that. Like the first episode, it was an introduction to the characters, to the situations, to the narrative arcs, the main ones that we would have for the season and maybe also for the entire show, and that it would take some time to build, a connection with the characters and also a tension, an intensity for the stories. But with a show like that, with also, I think that it's 10 episodes for this first season, normally we could expect something big happening around end of this episode 3 or maybe all of the episode 4, like something like that, something epic, something big, something like Game of Thrones created during all of its episodes after taking also 3 or 4 episodes to build the situation, build characters, build things. And after the first episode, which was more an introduction to the stories, and the episode 2, which was really about the characters, in fact, I'm gonna come back to that later, I think that this episode 3 can really be the beginning of something, of something big, and I'm expecting one big Game of Thrones moment, one moment to tell to all of the viewers and the fans of Game of Thrones, okay, that's it, tension is back, like that's it, that kind of chills that we had when it was the red wedding, the purple wedding, or stuff like that. So I was expecting that already since the episode 1, I told you that in intro and review. You can't say that I didn't warn you about it, and this morning, when I was preparing all of my stuff to watch this episode 3, I saw that the name of Daemon was in top tweets. I didn't click on it, but the fact that for the episode 3, it's not the first episode, so to have House of the Dragon on the top tweets, it's logical for the first episode, for the episode 3 not that much, and the fact that it's his name who is like that, I'm like, ooh, maybe that big thing that I'm waiting for, the fact that we have his name like that, is gonna do something big. And with the situation that we had at the end of the episode 2, the fact that the two brothers are against each other, the fact that he provoked him by stealing that egg, the fact that we almost had the beginning of a fight right there, Rhaenyra, she managed to block it, but it was at that moment. Is it really gonna continue, stay like that? I'm not so sure. Even more because of the fact that we are supposed to have a time jump. I don't know in which episode, but I know that we're gonna have a time jump. Maybe it's gonna be right there, and see, I'm really excited. I'm talking like I'm expecting something for this episode. Maybe I'm gonna be a little disappointed, if it's not happening during this episode. And the fact that Daemon, people are talking about him, I'm really glad, because even if the last episode was named after him, in fact, during the last episode we had him during maybe 2 scenes, and it was not really scenes to build his character, it was scenes to build the character of his new wife, clearly, about the fact that she wants to be protected, about the fact that he's telling her, you don't have to be afraid, you're with me and all. For sure, the girl is gonna die during this season, like I'm putting my bet on during this season, if not during the 2 next episodes. Like clearly I don't have a lot of hope for the girl. That being said, 2 scenes, not really for him, more in fact for his wife. And in fact the last episode was all about Rhaenyra and the king, their relationship, but also themselves, you know, the fact that she was fighting to be respected, to be considered as a new heir, but in fact it's only an official title and they are not expecting her to be the new heir. They were fighting to replace her, to push the king to marry someone and all, and him, it was all about that. Am I gonna remarry or not? I know that I have to remarry, I don't want to remarry. The fact that I loved my ex-wife, you know, the one who died, so much, it's blocking me to do the right thing, which means to marry only to have an alliance. I need to at least appreciate a little my wife. After having such a good love with the last one, I need to love the next one. And that's why at the end is choosing Alicent. But clearly him, all of this episode for him, we had at least 4 or 5 different discussions only about that, and her we had 4 or 5 situations only about that also. Situations and discussions. So, first episode, introduction to situations and characters. Second episode, we're going deep with the 2 main characters, 2 of the 3 main characters. For me, Daemon is one of the main characters. With the King and Rhaenyra, it was more an episode for the characters than really for the story. So normally, this third episode should be more about the story than about the characters. So see, 3 reasons for me, what I say since the beginning for how a first season is built, the fact that Daemon, his name it's on the top tweets, and the fact that for how the 2 first episodes were built, normally this third episode is gonna be about action moments. 3 reasons for me to think that this is gonna be a big episode, and that's why I'm so excited. Yes, I needed an introduction that long to explain to you why I'm so excited, because I think that it's gonna be important for my reactions, you know, during this episode, because if I don't have that, I think that I'm gonna be a little disappointed. So for sure, you know, it's gonna impact the way that I'm gonna watch this episode, react to this episode and all. That's why I'm making my intros, to tell you guys in what mood I am and also what series I have on mind right now or not. Do I have series right now? I don't have really series with this show. I'm waiting, you know, stuff to happen. I think that what they are creating between Rhaenyra and Daemon, for the ones who know the story, the real one, which was written, I think that we know what is gonna happen, we can feel it, you know, coming. But you know, I talked about it with my mother, who doesn't know what is gonna happen during the story, and clearly she didn't feel it at all. So I'm wondering if it's a good sign or not. If they are really subtle with that and it's gonna come little by little, or on the contrary, they should have pushed it a little much to still be subtle, but at least to be more explicit, not obvious, but you know, explicit that something was happening right there. We'll see if it's gonna continue like that or not. It's gonna depend, I think, on the time jump, when it's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen, how the relationships are gonna be after that time jump. I'm a little stressed about that time jump, because a time jump, you know, after a time jump, and such a big one, people, they changed, situations, they changed, which means that we're gonna have a new episode to introduce all of that, the new situations and the new characters, how they evolved. For the first season, to have twice one big episode of 1 hour only used to introduce new situations and new characters. Okay, it's a season of 10 episodes, but you understand what I mean? It's a lot. Luckily, after that, for the season 2, we're gonna be done with that. They can't do that again and again. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you can have these episodes earlier during the day, and with an extended or full reaction part. For now, I only put extended reaction part, but they are really longer because it's really long episodes. I think that for the 2 first episodes, it was 8 minutes longer, which is really a lot. And it's the best way, yes, to support me. I have now You can find it on the comments, a donate link if you are not interested by my Patreon and to have episodes of advance. If you just want to support me, you have a donate link, and I have also a TikTok now. I don't know if I'm gonna post a lot on it. I'm gonna try to post at least once, you know, each week. It's something that I want to try also. If you are on TikTok, you have my link on the description. Let's go for this episode 3. I'm excited! You. Dracarys! What? Careful.
You should ride out with me today. Join in the chase.
That's its way to say we need to talk.
How would you like to participate?
I'm not sure why I must.
Because you are my daughter, the princess. You should be reminded you ever intended to.
No one's here for me.
I don't appreciate that, you know. She felt betrayed by her father and her best friend. And right there, it's a time jump of at least 2 years. So during 2 years, their relationships were like that. She was all alone. And she saw them, you know, building a family, a new family. No. Rhaenyra. A Lannister?
What will happen today, John?
Oh, you're talking the same.
I feel gods will not make me fighting. Might I sit with you, my ladies?
Of course. Please join us.
Your dear uncle is the great mind behind this war, is he not?
And
I wouldn't know. I've not spoken to Daemon in years.
Since you supplanted him as heir.
The princess was more suited to the role.
He's made a mess and the king must put an end to it. Send
she's
peace
defending her.
and clear out the triarchy.
No, King's Wood. It's fine hunting ground. But the best sport is to be found at Castle Rock, near my home. It's been said that if one were to stand in the town, on a perfect day, one could see clear across the sunset sea.
don't touch.
I don't have dragonhood, of course, but I do have the means and resources to build one.
Why would you need a dragon?
I'd do anything for my queen. Or lady wife.
You're not a subtle guy,
Thank you for
clearly.
You're of age, Rhaenyra.
You know?
There's an excellent match.
She's arrogant and self-serious.
Well, I thought you might have that in common.
That is because I do not wish to get married.
Even I do not exist about tradition and duty, Rhaenyra.
Excuse me, Your Grace.
You must marry.
By order of the king.
What happened back
My father trying to sell me off to Jason Lannister. Was I named heir to the Iron Throne so that I might only further raise the standing of a Lord of Castle Rock?
Do you want me to kill him?
Okay, you're nice. That's it.
You held enough power to write my name into the White Book. When your father named me his King's Guard, it was the highest honor any court would ever know. All that I have, I owe to you. Now, I hardly call that
tooth, I suppose.
You choose him. Are you gonna choose him?
I have this forged in the Golden Gallery in honor of Prince Aegon.
That's what we can call a gift.
Thank you for your generosity.
I'm sure that
I would be
you're not interested to have something in
to
exchange.
take Princess Rhaenyra to wife, Your Grace. Rhaenyra may take a place there by my side without shame, and feel herself well compensated for her loss in station.
What loss of station?
And you're presuming what he's gonna
As
do?
is your firstborn son, many of us had assumed.
Many of us, you say.
It's not-
Are discussing about him and his choices.
Your Grace,
I did not decide to name Rhaenyra my heir on a whim. All the lords of the kingdom do well to remember that.
They thought the contrary since day one. If you don't see that, you're a fool. Or you're really blind.
Your Grace.
I'm glad that it was not his intention, but
Why?
you can say so.
You're not only Rhaenyra's father, you're the king. She'll do as you command.
It is not my wish to command her.
That's what you don't understand. Because you didn't do the same with your own daughter.
Who do you have in mind?
Prince Aegon.
Oh no. Oh please, no.
I just turned 2 on her.
And for sure you'll be sure to have
Keep me at home.
Aegon as the king. All of the episode 2, you know, it was discussions about who you should marry. All of this episode, it's gonna be discussions about who she should marry.
It would seem to me the best match for Rhaenyra is the son of the sea snake, Selene. Some years ago I counseled you to take his sister to wife. My reasoning remains the same.
He's giving
She has
a real advice. I'm not saying that it's a good one, but it's a real one. He's not selling his son. It would help the alliance.
We must pray, of course, that Rhaenyra survives the fighting in the Stepstones.
It's a way to involve you in that fighting.
His Grace is certain to be worried by your absence.
His Grace can worry himself to death if he's alive.
You want to make him worried. She wants to exist, you know.
Do you think Rome will ever accept me as their queen?
Your
I have no
silence
choice but to,
says a lot.
Princess.
I don't want to lose you. I know that we're not gonna lose her, but you stay alive. Woo! Oh! That's it! That's it!
I need heart of love. Because I no longer believe.
Believe what, my love?
I saw it in a dream. They obeyed. Brought to me. Wearing the conqueror's crown.
Yes.
My obsession killed Rhaenyra's mother.
Viserys.
I thought Rhaenyra was the way out of my abyss of grief. And naming her heir would begin to set things right.
Oh, it did.
I never imagined I would remarry. And what I was not.
You gave him his dream.
What if I was wrong?
He's saying, what if I was wrong about naming her as an heir to grieve, you know?
You may not be white, no grace. He's a big lad.
No! If you don't know me,
For the kill.
no!
Right here.
And you know, it's not a real aunt, like, they are giving it to you to prove that you're the king. You didn't hunt a creature, you hunt your bones. Now that you began it, you're gonna finish it, I swear. You're not gonna let it suffer like that. Hey! And now, do you feel like a real man? What? Like he was brave and something like that? It was an act of bravery, is that?